Greetings! I'm Rob Chappers.
And I'm the 7th member of a band you may be familiar with called Slipknot.
That's never going to fly, Lee. It's actually Lee Anderton
You've
from
just never
Andertons.
seen me without my mask on.
I'm excited because we've got orange products here to demonstrate today.
We certainly do. I've been pestering Orange since the beginning of 2012 to
really has.
send me the very, very first Jim Root little sort of terror head with matching cab. And also the Orange OR15, which they released at the NAMM show in 2012. So these aren't even in the shops yet, that's how privileged we are. So we've basically got one here for you, hot off the press to demonstrate. So tell us about it, because you're a bit of an orange aficionado, aren't you? Some may even say that you are orange.
Well, I like orange amps, and I've used a lot of them. The thing about this is that they sent Jim, or Rooty as I call him, they sent him a Dark Terror to play around with because he wanted something that was affordable for his fans to use. And he liked the Dark Terror, and he wanted something sort of based upon the sort of chassis and the way it was built. But he uses Rockaverbs. And so this is essentially a Dark Terror, but with a Rockaverb gain section in it. So if you like the Rockaverb tone, and I really like the Rockaverb tone, because it's got that sort of super, almost Soldano-y saturated lead type tone that kind of violins until you let go of your hand. If you want that in a tiny amp, this is the amp for you, and it comes action packed with an effects loop, 15 watts of pain, and it's a really, really good overdrive sounding amplifier.
It's kind of cool. We were talking to Adrian Elmsley, who's kind of Orange's lead designer, and he was saying that when they first started talking to Jim Root about doing a signature amplifier, he wanted it to be affordable so that the bulk of his fans could buy it. And what he didn't want to do though was it be rubbish. So he said, look, I don't want to make a cheap 100-watt amplifier with cheap transformers and all that kind of stuff in it. And Adrian said, well, look, you know, I'll send you a Dark Terror and see how you get on. And that's kind of cool because, you know, essentially this is a full-bore quality product like a Dark Terror is, and it's more affordable to make because it's obviously lower output. And so they haven't really had to sacrifice anything in terms of quality. All you've really sacrificed maybe is some volume.
I'd view it as an affordable Rockaverb, really. I mean, it's a Rockaverb gain stage. It's picks only, which is super cool as well. Nice bit of Orange history there.
Am I a bit of imbecile? Because for about 3 years, I think, of hearing this term Orange picks only,
yeah,
I just assumed it was like, I don't know, PIXONLY, and that would be some special.
No, it literally means pictures only.
I know.
So that
I know now.
Picturesly, so that the pictures, rather like a hieroglyph.
Yeah.
Like in Egypt when they write with pictures.
Wow.
So instead of words, what they've got here are little images that depict
like a spaceship
the meaning.
Going sideways.
Yes.
And that's
like a nipple being squashed.
And that's like the Loch Ness Monster with a huge harpoon through it. I don't know what the knobs are supposed to do, but obviously this adjusts the amount of Loch Ness Monster and this one adjusts the spaceship.
There's more gain.
It's got a cobra head above it. What's happened here? And that's got 2 spaceships.
There's more gain in this amplifier than you could use, really. I think that's fair to say. How far up have we got it at the moment?
Well, I'm noticing a very similar setting on this to you use on your Dark Terror, which is pushing the gain stage round to about maybe 2 o'clock, between 1 and 2 o'clock. Although I don't know if probably the EQ is a little different because you've just got tone control.
Yeah, this is a 3-band, which is a nice change. Yeah.
So Stick, our sound man here, while I was playing with the EQ before, said he liked it with the mid-range pretty much all the way gunned in. So that's probably going to make for a really good recorded sound. You might find, perhaps, when you're playing around at home with this, you might find a nicer sound if you back the mid-range down a little bit.
There are some amplifier brands that when you play with these EQ knobs, not an awful lot happens. That absolutely is not the case here, and I think what I'll do is I'll just have a chug-a-lug on an open sort of power chord, and you twiddle my knobs, and we'll just sort of show you what's going down there. It's awesome, awesome amplifier.
What guitar thing are you using there?
It's the Jim Root Telecaster.
Of course it is.
Yes, it's by a company called Fender.
So there are 3 Jim Root guitars now in the Fender range. You've got a kind of a Mexican-made Telecaster and Stratocaster sort of pairing that are both EMG loaded, kind of, taking that classic shape but giving it a real kind of modern drive edgy tone. And more recently, Fender have added to the range a Squier version of that. So again, you can have a very affordable version of this. So you can go and find out about those on the Andertons website.
Quite surprised at how amazing this plays.
You liked that in the other video we just did.
Yeah, I really did. This is one of my favourite guitars that we're doing.
And what are you drop tuning that? Or?
Well, I've only drop D'd. It comes with sort of weedy strings. You need 12s on it really, but we got like 9s or something. But one of the nicest features about this is the way they've done the heel. I'm going to bring it to the camera and show you. Watch this. So what you've got here is they've cut it away slightly. See that? They've kind of moulded and chamfered it, and they've done the same with the plate as well. So you can get your hand nice and high and do some widdly-twiddly stuff.
So that's, I don't know whether Jim wanted that and copied it off the Deluxe, or whether or not the Deluxe copied off that, but that's what you get on the Deluxe Telecaster.
Well, it means you can get super high frequencies with these high area notes here, almost microtonal in origin.
So cab is a 212 cab, covered in black with Jim's embroidered kind of little signature and number 4. Why is it number 4?
I don't know.
We're going to say this now.
It's Jim's number,
won't we?
It's Jim's number.
It's just Jim's number.
That's what Orange Age said. He went, "It's Jim's number. It's what it is. It's the number he is."
What, his phone number?
Don't ask him about it.
So if I just dial 4.
He doesn't like to be asked about the number.
Let's try. I'll just dial the number 4.
Dial the number 4. See if you get through to him. The cab comes with Orange's own speakers.
What did they call them? World of Tone speakers or something?
World of
Sound?
World of Sound.
Something. World of something.
Jim Root
Yeah.
is also known by his number, which is number 4.
They have numbers. They're all numbered.
Right.
Well, you know the whole sort of play on where I'm not a number, but they are.
I'm a man. I'm not a number.
But they are numbers.
Or they are a number.
Yes, they're all a number.
This amp is brought to you by
the number 4
and the letter J and R.
Yeah, so the sound of World of.
I think it was something World of Music sound.
Yeah,
speakers
something like that. But they sound great.
And what Adrian was saying again, apparently they've got like these smaller dust caps, so like a vintage.
He said, and I'm going to do this in Aid style. The low end travels faster.
Yes, he did. Apparently it's like a vintage sounding kind of speaker, but where the low end travels faster.
It's like a sucker punch in the pain place.
Bow!
Bow! With the bass end.
So we got an effects loop. Are you running that reverb pedal through this or not?
We are running a little secret
reverb
unit here. I can't reach it, but essentially it's the Hall of Fame.
It's the TC Hall of Fame,
for
our
which
favourite
Anderton
reverb pedal.
has his own sound thing, tone print.
Can we maybe show the guys how this sounds with different gain stages?
Yeah, why don't you roll all the gain off so it's completely silent, and then I'll bring in the guitar and then you gradually increase the piece.
I will. I don't know what Jim's actual settings are, but for me, on all these kind of terror amplifiers, there's a point at which the gain gets all the balls, but just before it starts to go fizzy, isn't it? And it always seems to be around about number 1 or 2.
Yeah, if we bedroom it, which is 7 watting, and then back off the volume, put all the gain in. That's great. The harmonic structure is so awesome.
Even at this volume, I prefer the gain sort of round about 1 or sort of 1. So that's the 7-watt mode. If we turn the volume up at 7 watts, you'll probably notice again characteristically it's more compressed
fluffy
and sort of saggy. And if we flip over to the 15-watt mode, and I won't adjust any of the settings, you'll just hear the extra bass end kind of come in.
I absolutely love it.
It's a great little amplifier, isn't it?
If you want
come with any goodies with it? Did it come in like a bag or anything?
It comes with a bag over there.
Let me show you.
Since I've got my Zilla cabs head, it no longer fits in my bag, so I use it as a camera bag.
So, there you go. So you get your little kind of tiny terrier.
Tiny terrier.
I'll start that again. You get your tiny terror bag with it, which is kind of cool, same as you do with all the other kind of terror range. Did anything cool come with the cab?
You just get like cool stuff. You know, you get an amazing amp rack.
I want to hear it with the Les Paul.
Okay, I think you should do it then.
No,
don't play metal. Don't play metal. This isn't just a metal amplifier. That's the thing. Rock of verbs. You can play blues. I mean, you can back off the gain. You can wind up all that dirty volume, and you kind of get more of. And we'll do this with the Les Paul. I'll show you how you can get like a more of a lead, Captain Lee tone.
Surely people that like the sort of music that I like wouldn't buy a Jim Root.
Well, but they might want that sonic kind of dirty filth, but then also want to do some blues stuff as well. People like both kinds of music.
If your dad wants to borrow your amplifier,
yeah, try it.
Okay. I take it back.
Yeah, you can get a really nice...
Some tones in there, aren't there?
Yeah, blues tone.
Yeah.
You can take it to super saturated lead sounds, or you can back it off and crank, and you get like a buttery, warm, sort of valvey, like this is all the volume and hardly any gain at all.
Like the rock verb, like you.
Yeah.
It's a great sounding amp.
So it's very versatile. And what I would do is I would have half the volume. I'd probably have just over half the gain, and I'd back up the volume on the guitar. Back off the volume and it'll clean up and it'll give you that kind of whole...
is secretly a blues player, Jim Root.
Well, I think who isn't really? I mean, lots of guitar players love super heavy metal stuff and then have a bit of blues and a bit of rock in between, and it's just great that you can get all those tones from the same amplifier. You know? I mean, I'm just going to be gunning the crap out of it and super gaining it, but if you want to bring it back and do some jazzy, warm blues, you know, modal sort of fusion interplay, you can do.
So we like that. It's so simple. I guess it's hard to shoot a long video on this because there's kind of not a lot to really tell you. But if you like the sound of this, I'm guessing it'll be in the shops soon, so you can dive down to Andertons, check one out yourself, or check out our website for more information.
How much?
That's a good question. This is basically, I think, roughly the same price as most of the other Terrors. It's round about the 400 mark, maybe 440, something like that. The cabinet is just under the 400, well, a little bit more than that. It's probably about 360, 370. The guitars that are in the Jim Root range are about £700, £800, £900, depending on whether you go for the telly or the Strat with the EMGs. But the Squire one's about £300, which is super cool.
I use a Dark Terror, like live, and I use it all. I think that this has a more compressed, more focused, tighter gain sound. And I actually prefer the gain sound here to my Dark Terror's gain sound.
Did you have your Zilla done so that it can have 2 amps in it?
Yes.
So?
Yeah, so I could have that as well and use both.
Orange.
Lots of dark.
Adrian, can I have another free amplifier,
What is this?
please?
Is this an impression of me? What the fuck was that?
So yeah, we've been using no pedals, just guitars straight into this awesome amplifier, and I think basically we've concluded this little audio test.
Yes.
So I hope you enjoyed it. Next we're going to try the OR15, so stay tuned.